Life does not reward the scattered mind, the divided spirit, or the disorganized dreamer. It rewards the individual who takes command of himself, who brings order to his thoughts, discipline to his habits, and structure to his days. Destiny is not shaped by chance, nor by hope, nor by vague ambition. Destiny is shaped by order, order in thought, order in action, order in purpose. And the moment you decide to force yourself to organize your life is the moment you seize the steering wheel of your own future. There comes a time when every individual must stand face to face with himself and ask a question that cuts straight to the soul. Am I truly living to my fullest potential, or am I merely drifting? The drifter allows the winds of circumstance to toss him from one distraction to the next. He fills his days with activities that lead nowhere, habits that weaken him, and choices that keep him trapped in mediocrity. But the disciplined individual, the one who forces order upon his life, becomes the master of his time, the architect of his destiny, the commander of his own mind. You cannot hope, wish, or talk your way into the life you want. You must organize your way into it. You must take the chaos that surrounds you and mold it into structure. You must take the confusion within you and transform it into clarity. You must take the random desires of your mind and convert them into definite, precise, measurable objectives. Only then does life begin to unfold in your favor. Many people are not weak. They are simply scattered. They are not incapable. They are unfocused. They are not lacking ambition. They are lacking organization. They attempt to pursue a dozen goals at the same time, yet accomplish none. They try to be everywhere at once, yet progress nowhere. Their efforts are diluted by disorder. Their dreams are suffocated by clutter, mental clutter, emotional clutter, physical clutter, and spiritual clutter. If you want your life to rise to a higher level, you must first clear the ground on which it stands. A builder cannot construct a strong home on a foundation covered in debris. Likewise, you cannot build success on a life filled with disorder. Clean your environment, and you clean your mind. Organize your schedule, and you organize your destiny. Bring structure to your habits, and you bring power to your future. When you force yourself to organize your life, something extraordinary begins to happen. You awaken dormant power within yourself. You discover inner strength you never knew you had. You feel a surge of confidence because you can finally see the road ahead of you. Most people are anxious, not because the world is against them, but because their lives are in disarray. When your surroundings, your goals, your priorities, and your actions are out of alignment, inattention becomes inevitable. But when you impose order, peace begins to bloom. Clarity replaces confusion. Certainty replaces doubt. Progress replaces stagnation. Order is not a luxury, it is a necessity for greatness. A disorganized life drains energy from your mind and steals focus from your purpose. Every minute wasted searching for something lost, postponing something important, or navigating the chaos of disorder is a minute robbed from your destiny. You must discipline yourself to create a life where everything has its place. Every action has intention, every habit has purpose, and every day has direction. Do not wait until you feel motivated. Motivation is unreliable. Force yourself into order, and motivation will follow. Forcing yourself to organize your life is not a punishment. It is the ultimate act of self-respect. It is a declaration that your future matters more than your excuses, that your potential matters more than your comfort, that your dreams matter more than your laziness. Understand this truth. Disorder grows naturally, but order must be created. Chaos requires no effort. Discipline requires everything. The universe rewards those who align their lives with intention and structure. The moment you decide to bring order into your life, you harmonize yourself with the very laws of success. Because nature itself operates through law, precision, and structure. A disorganized mind is fighting against the natural rhythm of success, while an organized mind is aligned with it. Begin with your thoughts. The mind is the workshop of your destiny. If your thoughts are scattered, your results will be scattered. If your thoughts are disorganized, your life will be disorganized. You must discipline your mind to think in straight lines, to focus on what matters, to eliminate the mental noise that drains your energy and clouds your purpose. Write down your goals, define your intentions, identify your priorities. When you put your thoughts on paper, they transform from wishes into commands. Then organize your environment. Your surroundings affect your state of mind more than you realize. A cluttered space breeds a cluttered spirit. When you clean your environment, you cleanse your energy. When you put your physical world in order, your internal world begins to align. Keep your living space tidy, your workspace clean, your tools in place. These simple acts of order build the foundation for greater discipline. They teach your mind that you are in control. Next, organize your time. Time is the currency of life, and how you spend it determines what you become. The undisciplined individual wastes time in distractions, trivialities, and reactive living. But the disciplined individual uses time with purpose. He plans his days, schedules his priorities. ND refuses to surrender his hours to meaningless pursuits. Create a daily plan. Fix a time for work, for learning, for self-improvement, for rest. When you command your time, you command your life. Organize your habits. Your habits form the blueprint of your destiny. Bad habits destroy dreams, good habits build empires. You must examine your habits with ruthless honesty. Identify the ones that weaken you, eliminate them. Strengthen the ones that empower you, reinforce them. The world does not shape your habits shape your world. Discipline yourself to create routines that move you forward, not backward. Organize your finances. Money flows toward order and flees from chaos. You cannot attract abundance if your financial life is a mess. Track your spending, plan your investments, budget your income. Take control of your economic life with intelligence and foresight. Financial discipline is a cornerstone of personal power. When you master your money, you remove stress, fear, and uncertainty from your future. Organize your relationships. Keep close only those who elevate you. Release those who drain you. Surround yourself with people who inspire discipline, ambition, and growth, not people who encourage excuses and distractions. Your environment is powerful, and the people you allow into your life shape your thoughts, your habits, and your future. Build a circle of order around you, not one of chaos, and above all, organize your purpose. A life without purpose is like a ship without a compass, tossed by every wave, moved by every wind, guided by nothing. You must define clearly what you want from your life. Not vaguely, not someday, not in general terms. Be specific, be definite, be intentional. Once your purpose is clear, every action can be organized around it. Every decision becomes easier. Every day becomes meaningful. Force yourself to organize your life, Eve, when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. Discipline is born in discomfort. Strength is forged in resistance. Growth comes from doing what others avoid. While most people drift from day to day without a plan, you will rise above them because you have structure. While they are confused, you are clear. While they are distracted, you are focused. While they are scattered, you are aligned. Organizing your life does not make you rigid, it makes you powerful. It frees your mind from unnecessary burden, frees your time from waste, and frees your soul from chaos. It gives you the space to create, the energy to achieve, and the clarity to succeed. When your life is in order, you move with confidence. You walk with purpose. You act with conviction. There is a remarkable truth you will discover: order creates momentum. Once you begin organizing one area of your life, you feel compelled to organize the next. Each step strengthens the next step. Each victory fuels the next victory. What begins as a discipline soon becomes a lifestyle. And this lifestyle becomes the foundation on which your success is built. Think of the greatest accomplishments in history. Great inventions, great discoveries, great achievements. None of them were born from chaos. They were born from minds disciplined enough to focus, habits organized enough to persist, and lives structured enough to endure the long journey from dream to reality. You are capable of this same greatness. But capability alone is not enough. Desire alone is not enough. Ambition alone is not enough. You must force yourself to put your life in order. Success is not given to the most talented, the most intelligent, or the most gifted. It is given to the individual who disciplines himself to create structure where others allow confusion. The life you want is waiting for you. The future you desire is within you. But it will never belong to the disorganized, the scattered, or the undisciplined. It belongs to those who are willing to master themselves, those who are willing to impose order on their thoughts, their actions, their habits, and their days, those who take command of their lives instead of surrendering to chaos. Look around you. Everything you desire, success, wealth, freedom, fulfillment, greatness, belongs to the organized mind, and everything you fear, failure, stagnation, regret, belongs to the disorganized one. The choice is yours, and the moment to choose is now. Force yourself to organize your life. Do it with courage. Do it with determination. Do it with the knowledge that every minute spent organizing is a minute invested into your own greatness. Do it because you respect your future enough to prepare for it. Do it because your potential deserves structure, not chaos. Do it because you refuse to live as a prisoner of disorder. One day, when your life has transformed, when your dreams have materialized, when your success is undeniable, you will look back and realize that everything began the moment you decided to bring order into your life. That single decision, simple yet powerful, will be the moment that changed everything. So begin now. Clean your environment, structure your mind, command your time, strengthen your habits, clarify your purpose, and build your life on a foundation of order, discipline, and intentional action. When you force yourself to organize your life, you unlock a force within you greater than talent, greater than luck, greater than opportunity. You unlock the power of self-mastery. And with that power, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, you cannot achieve. Disorder destroys potential. Organization unlocks it. These are not merely words meant to inspire. They are a fundamental truth that governs every area of your life. The quality of your life will never exceed the quality of the order you maintain within it. You cannot expect clarity from a cluttered environment, confidence from a scattered mind, or greatness from a life drowning in chaos. Everything you want to become, everything you want to build, and everything you want to achieve begins with a single foundation. Order? Disorder is silent but deadly. It creeps in slowly, almost unnoticeably, through small habits and careless routines. The pile of tasks you will do later, the clutter that sits untouched, the goals you haven't written down, the habits you postpone. These small acts of disorder accumulate until they form a barrier between you and the life you desire. Without realizing it, you begin spending more time managing chaos than building your future. Your energy is scattered, your attention is fragmented, and your progress stalls. Chaos suffocates dreams because it consumes the mental space required for growth. When your environment is messy, your mind becomes distracted. When your schedule has no structure, your discipline weakens. When your goals are unorganized, your direction becomes unclear. Disorder drains your power piece by piece until the dreams that once burned brightly begin to fade. Many people think they lack motivation, talent, or opportunity, when in reality, the true enemy is disorganization. It is not that they cannot achieve greatness, it is that their lives are too cluttered to allow greatness to take root. Organization is the great unlocker of potential. It doesn't just clean your surroundings, it elevates your entire state of being. When you bring order into your life, you create space for clarity, focus, and creativity. You reduce friction, eliminate overwhelm, and strengthen your ability to take consistent action. You free yourself from the weight of procrastination. You turn confusion into direction. Order is not merely about cleanliness, it is about mental liberation. A person who organizes their life sends a powerful message to themselves: I am in control. This sense of internal authority changes everything. When you organize your thoughts, you think better. When you organize your time, you move faster. When you organize your goals, you aim higher. When you organize your environment, you feel lighter. Organization is a form of self-respect. It is the acknowledgement that your future matters enough to create a structure that supports growth rather than chaos. Think of the greatest architects, leaders, and creators in history. Their brilliance did not emerge from disorder. Great achievements are the result of organized minds working with intention, precision, and discipline. Even creativity, which may appear spontaneous, flows best from a place of order. When your thoughts are clear, your imagination expands. When your time is structured, your creativity has room to breathe. When your environment is organized, your ideas flow without obstruction. Disorder breeds stress, anxiety, and stagnation. Organization breeds progress, peace, and power. The difference between feeling overwhelmed and feeling unstoppable often comes down to how well your life is organized. The person who lives in a chaotic environment struggles to find inspiration, while the person who maintains order finds confidence and strength in their daily structure. It is not a matter of personality, it is a matter of responsibility. Your potential is like a powerful engine, but even the most powerful engine cannot perform if the system around it is broken. You may have incredible capabilities, but disorder blocks your potential like debris in the gears. You may have big dreams, but disorganization keeps them stuck in your imagination, instead of bringing them into reality. When you organize your life, you remove the obstacles that prevent you from operating at full power. Look around your life. Every area that feels stagnant, stressful, or overwhelming is an area lacking organization. If your finances cause anxiety, it is because they lack structure. If your health suffers, it is because your habits lack consistency. If your goals feel distant, it is because your priorities lack clarity. Every breakthrough begins with bringing order where there is disorder. You do not rise to the level of your dreams, you rise the level of your organization. A dream without structure is only a wish. A goal without a plan is only a hope. A dream supported by order becomes a mission. A plan supported by structure becomes action. Organization transforms possibility into progress. It is not enough to want a better life. You must prepare for it. The universe responds to structure. When your life is organized, opportunities feel more accessible, confidence grows stronger, and the path ahead becomes visible. You stop drifting and start directing. You stop reacting and start leading. You stop doubting and start doing. The beautiful thing about organization is that it multiplies itself. The moment you bring order to one area of your life, you feel motivated to organize the next. A clean space leads to a clearer mind. A structured schedule leads to disciplined habits. A defined goal leads to focused action. One act of order sparks a chain reaction of growth. But organization does not come naturally. It must be chosen, built, and maintained. It requires discipline, but that discipline is the very force that unlocks your potential. Greatness is not born from comfort, it is born from structure. Success is not the result of chaos, it is the reward of order. When you force order into your life, you are planting the seeds of your future. And soon those seeds begin to grow into habits, habits into achievements, and achievements into a powerful transformation. Remember this truth, your potential is limitless, but it needs a structure to expand. Chaos will always hold you down, but organization will always lift you up. You are capable of a life far greater than the one you are living now, but only if you create an environment where your greatness can breathe. Disorder destroys potential. Organization unlocks it. And when you choose order, you choose power. Motivation follows discipline, not the other way. Most people misunderstand this truth, and because of that misunderstanding, they remain stuck, waiting, wishing, hoping for a spark of inspiration to lift them off the ground. They believe that motivation is the fuel that begins the engine of progress, when in reality, progress begins when you turn the key through discipline. Motivation is not the cause of action. Motivation is the result of action. It is born from movement, not emotion. Do not wait to feel inspired. Inspiration is unreliable, inconsistent, and fleeting. Emotion shifts like the wind. One day you feel unstoppable. The next day you feel exhausted and unmotivated. If you depend on motivation to begin, you will begin rarely. If you depend on motivation to continue, you will continue inconsistently. The people who achieve extraordinary success are not those who feel motivated every day. They are those who act with discipline even when they feel nothing. Discipline is the bridge between intention and accomplishment. It is the force that transforms your plans into progress, your dreams into reality, and your goals into achievements. Discipline is cold, clear, and unemotional. It does not ask how you feel. It does not wait for the right moment. It demands action, now, here, without excuse. And the moment you obey that demand, something incredible begins to happen. As you act, you build momentum. As you build momentum, you begin to feel inspired. And as you feel inspired, your motivation grows naturally. This is the cycle of achievement. People who wait for motivation never begin. People who rely on discipline never stop. When you force yourself to organize your life first, motivation naturally follows. Cleaning your space creates clarity. Planning your day creates direction. Structuring your habits creates stability. These simple acts of discipline trigger the psychology of progress. Your brain responds. Order by releasing energy, focus, and willingness. What felt difficult before suddenly feels manageable. What seemed overwhelming becomes achievable. Action creates emotion. Motivation, then, is not a starting fuel, it is a byproduct of discipline. Imagine you are standing at the bottom of a long staircase. Looking up feels intimidating. Thinking about climbing, it drains your energy. But the moment you take the first step, something changes. The step was small, but now you are in motion. By the third step, your mind begins to adjust. By the fifth step, you feel a sense of progress. By the 10th step, you feel motivated to reach the top. But that motivation did not come before taking action. It came because you took action. This is true in every area of life. If you wait until you feel motivated to clean your environment, it will remain cluttered. If you wait until you feel motivated to work on your goals, they will remain dreams. If you wait until you feel motivated to change your habits will remain unchanged. Motivation is not the spark. Discipline is the spark. Action is the spark. Structure is the spark. Discipline is powerful because it does not depend on emotion. It depends only on decision. You choose discipline, not because you want to, but because you need to. You force yourself to begin, regardless of how you feel. And when you begin repeatedly, you create a mental pattern that becomes the foundation of strength. The truth is simple. Motivation is a luxury, but discipline is a necessity. Motivation whispers, I feel like it. Discipline commands, do it anyway. And every time you obey discipline, you strengthen your identity. You begin to see yourself as someone capable, someone consistent, someone strong. Your confidence grows, not from talk, but from proof. Motivation says, I believe I can. Discipline says, I am proving I can. It is the proof that creates the belief. This is why people who rely only on motivation often struggle with confidence. They rarely act long enough to show themselves what they're capable of. But those who practice discipline build a foundation of self-trust. They have evidence. They know they will act because they always act. And that belief becomes unstoppable. Your future success depends far more on discipline than on how you feel today. Feelings change. Discipline remains. Think of the gym. Most people wait to feel motivated to exercise, but the people who transform their bodies show up whether they feel like it or not. And because they show up consistently, they suddenly begin to feel motivated to go. They enjoy the results. Their energy rises. Their identity shifts. Their motivation comes because they acted first. Think of writing a book. Those who wait for motivation to write often remain stuck in the first chapter forever. Those who write a little bit each day, even without inspiration, eventually discover that inspiration meets them halfway. That is the law of discipline. Action creates inspiration. Think of building a business. Waiting for motivation leads to delay and doubt. Acting with discipline leads to momentum and direction. Each step builds confidence. Each action builds clarity. And eventually motivation appears, not at the beginning, but deep into the process. You must train yourself to take action without permission from your emotions. Your emotions are not qualified to lead your life. They are temporary visitors, influenced by weather, sleep, distractions, and stress. Discipline is the only dependable commander of your future. And here is the beautiful truth: the more disciplined you become, the more motivated you become. Discipline expands motivation. It generates it. It multiplies it. What was once difficult becomes easy because discipline builds strength, and strength builds enthusiasm. Motivation grows from seeing yourself grow. It grows from witnessing your own progress. It grows from living in a structured environment where your goals are clear and your habits are aligned. It grows from creating routines that reduce confusion and amplify control. Discipline is the engine, motivation is the exhaust. Stop waiting for motivation. It is waiting for you to act. Start by organizing your environment, your time, your goals, your habits. Take one step, then another. Make discipline your daily practice, and soon you will experience the powerful truth that discipline unlocks greatness, and motivation follows like a shadow. When you act consistently, motivation cannot help but appear. It has no choice. It is pulled toward progress like a magnet. Your life begins to shift. Your energy rises. Your mindset sharpens. And you finally realize the truth that separates achievers from dreamers. Do not wait to feel inspired. Force yourself to act first. Motivation grows from action, not emotion. There is a subtle truth that governs the quality of your thinking, the stability of your emotions, and the sharpness of your decisions. Your environment is not just a backdrop to your life. Your environment creates your life. Every object you allow into your space, every sound that surrounds you, every unfinished task within your field of vision, and every pattern of movement within your home or workplace becomes a silent architect of your mindset. Whether you rise with clarity or drown in confusion often depends on the order or disorder around you. A clean, organized environment is more than aesthetic appeal. It is a psychological strategy. When the world outside you is chaotic, your inner world begins to mirror it. The brain is constantly collecting information from the environment, even when you are not consciously paying attention. A cluttered room sends thousands of unnecessary signals to your mind. A messy desk forces your brain to sift through distractions. A disorganized schedule keeps your thoughts in a state of unending tension. This is why people often feel overwhelmed even when they haven't done anything strenuous, because their environment is draining them silently, moment by moment. But when you step into a clean, organized space, something inside you shifts. Your breathing slows, your thoughts align, your energy settles. Without uttering a word, your environment tells your mind you are safe, you are capable, you are focused. The order around you becomes a form of mental clarity, and that clarity transforms into emotional strength. Think of your environment as the soil in which your thoughts grow. No matter how brilliant the seed is, it cannot flourish in contaminated or neglected soil. The most ambitious goals, the most impressive talents, and the strongest desires cannot survive long in a chaotic environment. Disorder is like a constant leak in your mental energy. You may not notice it immediately, but over time it drains your creativity, your strength, and your ability to stay consistent. Many people blame procrastination for their lack of progress, but often the root cause is an environment that suffocates focus. Your surroundings have a direct influence on your behavior. If your room is cluttered, your thoughts feel scattered. If your desk is messy, your work feels overwhelming. If your home is filled with noise, your mind becomes restless. If your daily path is filled with obstacles, both physical and mental, your motivation will fade even before you begin. But when your environment supports clarity, it becomes easier to act with intention. You feel drawn toward productivity rather than pushed toward it. You become naturally more disciplined because your space makes discipline the path of least resistance. Consider how quickly your mindset changes when you organize even a small area. Your desk, your closet, your workspace. The sense of control that rises from simple organization is powerful. Suddenly you feel capable of more. The very act of ordering your physical space becomes symbolic of ordering your inner world. You reclaim authority over your mind by reclaiming authority over your surroundings. Physical order also reduces emotional stress. Studies show that visual clutter increases cortisol, the stress hormone. But you don't need studies to understand this. Your own experience tells. A messy space makes you irritated, overwhelmed, and unfocused. You may not know why, but you feel a constant pressure. On the other hand, a clean environment creates a sense of calm that your mind desperately needs. When your surroundings are peaceful, your thoughts become peaceful. When your thoughts are peaceful, your decisions become wiser. This is why successful people guard their environments with great care. They understand that discipline begins with structure, and structure begins with the space they inhabit. They surround themselves with tools that support their goals, remove objects that distract their minds, and design spaces that inspire clarity. They do not allow their environment to be created by accident. They create it with intention because they know their future depends on it. You must adopt the same mindset. If your environment is sloppy, You cannot expect your life to feel precise. If your home is chaotic, do not be surprised when your thoughts lack direction. If your workspace is cluttered, your goals will lose focus. If your habits unfold in an unstructured setting, your discipline will weaken. Your environment is a silent partner in everything you do. Either it supports your progress or it suffocates it. Cleaning your space is not a chore, it is a declaration. When you organize your surroundings, you are telling your mind, I choose clarity, I choose purpose, I choose strength. Every time you put an object in its proper place, you are practicing self-respect. Every time you eliminate clutter, you are removing mental obstacles. Every time you choose order over chaos, you reinforce a psychological foundation on which your success can stand. This is why people often feel an immediate burst of motivation after cleaning their room or reorganizing their workspace. It is not a coincidence. It is the natural consequence of aligning your external world with your internal desires. Your brain can finally breathe, your energy can finally flow, your focus can finally function without interference. But for this transformation to last, you must treat organization as a lifestyle, not a one-time fix. The goal is not to have a clean environment for a day, it is to build a habit of order. When your environment remains consistently organized, your mind remains consistently empowered. You begin each day with clarity instead of chaos. You make decisions with intention instead of confusion. You act with discipline instead of hesitation. Over time, your environment becomes a mirror that reflects your strongest qualities. Your discipline, your confidence, your leadership, your vision. You become the architect of your atmosphere, and in doing so, you become the architect of your life. Your environment shapes your mind. It influences your thoughts, molds your emotions, and determines your energy. If you want a strong mind, build a strong environment. If you want clear thoughts, create a clear space. If you want emotional stability, design a peaceful atmosphere. Your environment is not a decoration, it is a tool. Use it intentionally, and it will transform not just how you live, but who you become. Time is the one currency that every human being receives in equal measure. It does not favor the rich, nor does it pity the poor. It makes no distinction between the intelligent and the uneducated, the powerful and the powerless. Each day, 24 hours are placed into your hands, and what you choose to do with those hours defines the quality of your life. Everything you desire, success, wealth, health, relationships, mastery, peace, depends on how you invest your time. Yet most people treat time as if it were abundant, renewable, and forgiving. They throw it away on distractions, squander it through indecision, and waste it on activities that hold no value. Only later do they realize that time does not return once spent. It is final. It is absolute. It is the most precious asset you possess. An organized schedule is not merely a tool for productivity. It is the framework through which your dreams become real. Without structure, time slips through your fingers like water. You may believe you are busy, but busyness is not progress. Movement is not advancement. Many people live in a cycle of random activity, confusing motion with purpose. Their days are filled, yet their lives remain empty. They wake up without a plan, drift through their hours, react to circumstances, and go to bed without having moved one step closer to the life they desire. This is the tragedy of the unorganized mind. It wastes the very resource that determines destiny. When you organize your schedule, you are not merely arranging tasks, you are shaping your future. Each hour becomes a building block. Each minute becomes a seed. Structure allows you to take control of your day instead of being controlled by it. It turns time into a tool instead of a trap. It transforms wishful thinking into deliberate action. To spend time with intention is to live consciously. It means asking yourself, what matters? What serves my goals? What moves my life forward? It means refusing to give your hours away to meaningless distractions, pointless entertainment, and empty habits that steal you. Our potential. Every moment you spend on something insignificant is a moment stolen from something important. Every unplanned hour is an invitation for chaos to enter your life. Intentional time management is not about filling every second with activity. It is about aligning your actions with your purpose. Some of the most productive hours are those spent resting, reflecting, learning, or planning. But these moments must be chosen deliberately. not stumbled upon by accident. A scheduled life does not make you rigid. It makes you powerful. It gives you the ability to master your day rather than being mastered by impulses, moods, or external demands. Think of time the way an investor thinks of money. A wise investor does not scatter money randomly. He chooses carefully where to place it, how much to allocate, and what return he expects. In the same way, a wise individual does not scatter time across unimportant tasks. He invests his hours strategically, knowing that each moment has the power to shape his character, his opportunities, and his destiny. You must see time as your greatest leverage. Every hour you invest into a skill compounds. Every moment spent on discipline strengthens you. Every day spent in consistency builds momentum. When your schedule is organized, progress becomes inevitable. You no longer wait for motivation, you operate on commitment. You no longer depend on inspiration, you depend on structure. Your time becomes a disciplined force that pushes your life forward, even on days when you feel unmotivated. Without structure, time leaks away quietly. You lose minutes to scrolling, hours to distractions, and days to procrastination. What begins as a small delay becomes chronic avoidance. What begins as harmless entertainment becomes addiction. What begins as disorganization becomes lifelong stagnation. The mind cannot operate at high levels in an environment of randomness. It requires a clear path. A disciplined schedule is that path. When you create a schedule, you are engaging in the highest form of self-respect. You are telling yourself that your goals matter, your dreams matter, your time matters. You are placing value on your life by placing order on your hours. A person who does not respect their time cannot expect the world to respect their achievements. Time management is not simply a habit, it is a declaration of your worth. An intentional schedule also protects your energy. When you know what needs to be done, you eliminate decision fatigue. You avoid the stress of uncertainty. Your mind becomes calmer because your direction is clear. You focus better because you are not constantly shifting your attention from task to task. You become more confident because every day gives you evidence of progress. This mental clarity becomes a form of emotional strength. The impact of an organized schedule extends beyond productivity. It influences your relationships, your health, your finances, and your self-esteem. People who manage their time well manage their lives well. They show up prepared, they follow through on commitments, they maintain balance, they create space for growth, learning, and recovery. Their lives feel intentional and grounded. Of course, building this level of structure requires effort. It requires stepping away from comfort and confronting the truth about how you currently spend your hours. It requires eliminating distractions that have been consuming your attention. It requires discipline to plan your days and courage to say no to activities that do not serve your future. But this effort is the price of freedom. The more you organize your time, the more control you gain over your life. Remember this, you are not merely scheduling tasks. You are scheduling your becoming. You are shaping the person you are. I'll be 1 year from now, 5 years from now, and 10 years from now. Every hour invested with intention is a brick in the foundation of the life you are building. Time is your greatest currency. Spend it wisely. Spend it deliberately. Spend it with purpose. Let your schedule become a blueprint for your success, a reflection of your values, and a testament to your commitment. When you structure your time, you structure your destiny. When you act with intention, your life transforms. And when you honor your hours will honor you by creating the future you desire. Success is never an accident. It is never something a person simply stumbles into. It is not discovered by luck or delivered by fate. It is built piece by piece, decision by decision, habit by habit. A successful life is the result of intentional creation, not passive expectation. Those who rise to greatness understand that nothing changes until they change themselves. Nothing improves until they improve their inner world. Their achievements are not found. They are constructed with deliberate effort and precise organization of thought, action, and purpose. Greatness belongs only to those who treat their lives like a masterpiece under construction. They do not wake up hoping success will knock on their door. They build the frame, lay the foundation, and shape the architecture of their future through daily discipline. They understand that progress is not a mystery, it is a consequence. It is the result of aligning thoughts with goals, habits with intentions, and priorities with purpose. To build a successful life, you must first build a successful mind. Everything begins with thought. The thoughts you repeatedly entertain become the blueprint for your actions. If your thinking is scattered, your life will be scattered. If your thoughts are weak, your results will be weak. But if your thoughts are organized, focused, and purpose-driven, your life will begin to reflect that order. Successful individuals shape their mentality with care. They monitor their inner dialogue and replace doubt with determination. They do not entertain thoughts that contradict their goals. They do not allow confusion, fear, or negativity to occupy their mental space. Their minds become disciplined environments in which powerful ideas can flourish. But thoughts alone are not enough. Thoughts must be translated into habits. This is where many people fail. They think positively but act inconsistently. They dream vividly but move sluggishly. They desire success but repeat the same self-defeating behaviors. Greatness demands more than mental clarity. It requires daily habits that reinforce your vision. Habits are the machinery that transforms ideas into reality. Every successful life is built upon a foundation of strong habits. Habits of discipline, focus, learning, planning, and perseverance. These habits are not formed by emotion, but by commitment. A person does not become great because they feel motivated. They become great because they remain consistent, even when they feel unmotivated. They follow their routines, honor their responsibilities, and protect their time. They treat discipline as a muscle, strengthening it through repetition until it becomes part of who they are. To build greatness, you must also organize your priorities with precision. Not everything deserves your attention. Not everything deserves your energy. Unsuccessful people treat all tasks as equal. They respond to whatever is loudest, not whatever is most important. They divide their focus among too many pursuits and dissipate their strength. But successful individuals identify what matters most and devote themselves to those essential priorities. They say yes only to what aligns with their vision and no to everything that distracts them. They understand that clarity is a form of power and that power is wasted when scattered across trivial pursuits. Goals are the final layer of this construction process. Without goals, your efforts lack direction. Without direction, your actions lack meaning. A person without goals may work hard, but they will wander aimlessly. Successful individuals set goals that are clear, specific, and purpose-driven. They do not wait for life to show them a path. They create the path through conscious intention. Their goals serve as a compass, guiding their decisions and eliminating confusion. Each step they take is purposeful. Each action they perform is aligned with a larger mission. Their goals give structure to their days and meaning to their struggles. A successful life is not a single achievement, but a collection of victories. Small wins accumulated over time. It is built from the inside out. It requires the courage to confront your weaknesses, the patience to build discipline gradually, and the humility to learn continuously. Success cannot be found because it does not exist outside you. It must be constructed within you. It is the product of a well-organized mind, a disciplined routine, purposeful priorities, and unwavering goals. Those who achieve greatness may look fortunate from the outside, but fortune played only a small part. What others see as luck is simply the visible layer of years of preparation. What others call talent is often the result of countless hours of practice. What others call natural ability is usually disciplined habit in disguise. Success is built long before it is seen. The world applauds the finished structure but rarely sees the silent construction. The truth is simple. You cannot live a disordered life and expect an extraordinary outcome. You cannot think randomly, act inconsistently, and prioritize carelessly while hoping to stumble into greatness. The life you desire cannot grow in confusion. It requires precision. It requires structure. It requires the steady hand of someone committed to shaping their destiny with intention. This is empowering because it means your future is not determined by luck, background, or circumstances. It is determined by the effort you are willing to make. You have the ability to build the life you want, no matter where you begin. You have the power to organize your thoughts, strengthen your habits, choose your priorities, and define your goals. The tools are already within you. What makes the difference is whether you use them deliberately The question is not whether success is possible for you, it is whether you are prepared to build it, whether you are willing to rise early, plan clearly, sacrifice distractions, and act consistently. Whether you are ready to think with precision, work with discipline, and pursue your goals with purpose. Whether you choose construction over comfort, growth over instant gratification, and intention over randomness, the message is eternal. Successful lives are built, not found. If you desire greatness, you must construct it with deliberate design. If you want a powerful life, you must organize it with purpose. If you want a future you are proud of, you must build it, one thought, one habit, one priority, and one goal at a time.